In June 1942, on the remote Aleutian island of Akutan, a little-known event unfolded that would alter the course of World War II. On the morning of June 4th, as global attention centered on the decisive Battle of Midway, a Japanese AIM-60 crash-landed following a raid on Dutch Harbor, Alaska. It was this single plane that crash-landed on that cold, wild island of Akutan that gave American engineers their first look at Japan's most feared fighter aircraft, the legendary Zero. What they discovered allowed American pilots to gain the advantage in the skies above the Pacific. Hello, this is Russell, and welcome to Anything History. The A6M-0 had a truly well-earned reputation at the beginning of the war. In those early encounters, it could outclass most Allied warplanes of the era. Now, this is a great story where the recovery of a nearly intact A6M-0 gave Allied intelligence a truly amazing opportunity to change the course of World War II in the Pacific. The story starts in 1942. Japanese planes launched a surprise attack on the American naval base at Dutch Harbor, Alaska. Among the attacking planes were Mitsubishi Zeros. The Zeros were famous across the world. It was fast, highly nimble, and could fly incredible distances. For the first 6 months of the war, the Allied planes could not beat it. During the attack, a 25-year-old Japanese pilot named Tadayoshi Koga was hit by American gunfire. A single bullet punctured an oil line, and Koga knew his engine would soon fail, so he looked for a suitable place to land on a nearby island. From the air, the grassy valley must have looked like a perfect field for a landing, but it wasn't. It was a muddy, soaking wet bog. When Koga touched down, his wheels sank deep into the mud, and the plane instantly flipped upside down. For over a month, the Zero lay hidden in the remote Alaskan wilderness. Then on July 10, 1942, a U.S. Navy PBY Catalina spotted the downed aircraft. When the recovery team arrived, they expected to find a ruined pile of metal. Instead, they got a huge shock. The Zero was almost completely undamaged. Earlier Zeros that had crashed in combat had either blown up or burned to ashes, but this plane was intact. The U.S. Navy pulled the fighter out of the mud, and soon it was loaded onto a ship headed for a base in San Diego, California. The engineers in California went straight to work. Every system was carefully documented. The engine was rebuilt, damaged landing gear replaced, and structural repairs were completed. For months, mechanics worked to return the captured fighter to flying condition. Finally, on September 20th, 1942, Lieutenant Commander Eddie Sanders climbed into the cockpit and became the first American to fly an operational Mitsubishi Zero. For the first time, U.S. pilots and engineers could evaluate Japan's premier fighter under controlled conditions instead of facing it in combat. The results were both impressive and revealing. The Zero possessed extraordinary agility at low speeds and could outturn virtually every Allied fighter then in service. Its climb rate was excellent, and its long range had allowed Japanese forces to conduct operations believed not possible before the war. But the testing had also exposed weaknesses that had remained hidden behind its fearsome reputation. As speed increased, the aircraft controls became noticeably heavier. Rolling quickly at high speeds proved difficult, making the fighter vulnerable during diving attacks. Engineers had also confirmed what combat reports had already begun to suggest. The Zero achieved its remarkable performance by sacrificing protection. The pilot had almost no armor. The fuel tanks lacked self-sealing liners, meaning that even relatively small caliber machine gun fire could cripple or ignite the aircraft. These discoveries fundamentally changed how the Americans took on the Japanese Zero. This new information changed everything for American pilots. Instead of trying to outturn the agile Zero, they learned new rules: stay high, dive fast, shoot, and zoom away. Heavier, faster planes like the Hellcat and the Corsair attacked from above, using their superior armor and firepower to defeat the Zero. While the recovery of the Akutan Zero certainly didn't win World War II on its own, unlocking its secrets greatly helped diminish or erase one of Japan's biggest advantages it had at the beginning of the war. After the war, the Akutan Zero was destroyed during a training accident in February 1945. Small pieces of the aircraft have been donated to the National Museum of the United States Navy, the Alaska Heritage Museum, and the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out.